Alright, another Blazing Vortex archetype. This time the Sprigguns. So let's begin. Like usual, we start off with the main deck, with the only 4 main deck cards. Spriggun Rocky, level 4 Fire Machine, 18 attack, 800 defense. Sprigguns Pede, level 4 Fire Machine, 0 attack, 2000 defense. Sprigguns Banger, level 8 Fire Machine, 500 attack, 2500 defense. And the big boss, Sprigguns Captain Sargus, level 8 Fire Machine, 15 attack, 28 defense. All of them have the same effect of if this card's in your hand, field, or graveyard, you can target one Sprigguns Exceed monster you control and attach this card as material. But the effect of this card's name can only be used once per turn. And then Rocky's unique effect is if this card's no more special summon, you can target one Sprigguns monster or Vast Desert Golgonda, that's your field spell, in your graveyard, except itself and add it to your hand. Recycling. Ped's unique effect is that you contribute this card to target one Sprigguns monster in your graveyard, except itself and special summon it. Obviously this is to summon your big guys. Banger's unique effect is that you can banish both this card and one Sprigguns monster from your graveyard except itself, and add one Sprigguns card from your deck to your hand. This is your searcher. And then Captain Sargus' unique effect is that during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can detach one material from one Exceed monster you control, target one face-up card on the field, and destroy it. And another unique effect that Captain Sargus has is that the Exceed monster attached with this card as material gains 500 attack. So obviously you want this card as your main material. So far, these 4 are okay to me. I do like this playstyle of attaching itself to an Exceed monster, but so far we only got one revealed, which is a rank 8, so we still need a rank 4. And I do like the recycling effects, but there's not enough searching. And now to your big boss, Spriggus Ship Explorer. Rank 8 Fire Machine Exceed monster with 16 attack, 2500 defense, requires at least 2 level 8 monsters. And its first effect is choose one monster zone or spell or trap on your opponent's field. Detach any number of materials from this card. If you do, destroy cards your opponent controls up to the number of materials you detach in that chosen zone, or monster zones or spell and trap zones to the top, bottom, or adjacent to that zone. So basically you choose a zone and then say you detach 2 materials. You can destroy 2 monsters that are next to the zones of the ones that you chosen. So you say you chose the center one. You can detach 2 materials and then destroy 2 monsters that are just next to that zone that you chose. It doesn't have to be exactly that zone that you chose. That's what the effect means. And what's good about this effect that it doesn't target the monster, it targets the zone. So essentially it's non-targeted removal. And then second effect is that during your opponent's main phase or battle phase, quick effect, you can banish this card to end the battle phase. And each effect of this card's name can only be used once per turn. So it has some sort of battle fader effect. If you happen to be nearly OTK, just use this effect and banish yourself, end the battle phase. You protected yourself at the cost of your main boss monster. I say it's pretty decent, but we still need more Exceed monsters because this is the only one revealed so far. And now to the spells. Our first card will be a normal spell, Sprigguns Watch. You can only activate one of these per turn, and its effect is add one Vast Desert Golgonda, aka your field spell, from your deck to your hand. But if you control one on your field zone, use this effect instead. Add one Sprigguns monster from your deck to your hand, and then send one Sprigguns monster from your deck to the graveyard. This is an obvious 3-up. This is not only your terraforming, but also your searcher. And at the same time, it's also your Foolish Burial. And now we go to the field spell, Vast Desert Golgonda. Its first effect is a continuous effect. Sprigguns Exceed monster you control gains 1000 attack. And then second effect is, if you do not control a Sprigguns Exceed monster, you can discard one Sprigguns card to special summon one Sprigguns Exceed monster from your extra deck. This will in turn cheat things out, and then of course you can use the discarded Sprigguns to attach itself as material. So that's nice. Third effect. If a face-up Exceed monster you control leaves the field by card effect, aka Ship Explorer's banish effect to end the battle phase, you can target one monster your opponent controls. It cannot attack for the rest of the turn. The second and third effect of this card's name can only be used once per turn. This is an obvious 3-up for being your field spell because field spells are usually 3-ups for being your main card. I love this card for being able to cheat out your Exceed monster. And considering that this archetype is about attaching your main deck monster to your Exceed monster as material, you are going to get those materials really quick. Now we still need to wait for more Exceed monsters to be revealed, but so far I find this pretty interesting. And now to our traps, our first card is a normal trap, Sprigguns Call. Its first effect is that you can target one Sprigguns monster or Fallen of Abyss in your graveyard and special summon it. Are we really going to be pushing Nullius Folius in every random archetype just because of lore? Second effect, during either player's turn except during the turn that this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card and one fusion monster in your graveyard, target one Sprigguns Exceed monster you control, attach the fusion monster that lists Fallen of Abyss or Nullius Filius, depending on what side you like to use, as fusion material from your extra deck to target as Exceed material. And each effect of this card's name can only be used once per turn. So basically the idea is you banish your fusion monster that you use, and then you attach one fusion monster that has Nullius Filius or Fallen Abyss as material to that Exceed monster for another material. I say if you're going to be running that engine, I guess a 2 of, but the special summon effect is where I care about the most. And finally, Sprigguns Blast. It's a normal trap and you can only activate one of these per turn, and its effect is, if you control a Sprigguns monster, choose one main monster zone your opponent controls. If there's a face-up monster in that zone, it cannot attack directly, and its effects are negated until the end of the turn. If there is no monster in that zone, it cannot be used for the rest of the turn. And if you control a fusion monster that lists Fallen of Abyss or Nullius Filius as material, you can choose 2 zones instead. So basically, it gives you the choice of either negating the effect or force your opponent cannot use a monster zone. And if you happen to have the fusion monster, you can do 2 instead. I say a 2 of at least for control options. And into the Tribrigade support, our first card is Tribrigade Kit. Level 2 Fire Beast, 700 attack, 1000 defense. And its effect is that you can banish any number of Beast, Beast Warrior, Winged Beast monsters from your graveyard to special summon one Beast, Beast Warrior, Winged Beast Link monster with the same link rating equal to the banished cards from this effect. But you cannot use cards as link materials for the rest of the turn except for Beast, Beast Warriors, and Winged Beast monsters. And second effect is that if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can send one Tribrigade card from your deck to the graveyard except itself. And each effect of this card's name can only be used once per turn. Nice addition to the Tribrigade deck, mainly because they actually needed a Foolish Burial card. And then we got our quick play spell, Tribrigade Rendezvous. Its first effect is that you can target any number of linked Beast, Beast Warrior, Winged Beast monsters you control. They gain 700 attack until the end of the turn. Okay? Second effect. If a linked Beast, Beast Warrior, Winged Beast monster you control would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you could banish this card from your graveyard instead. 2 or 3 for giving you protection. And the power boost is okay. And into the Drachma card, or Dogmatika, really hate that change. Drachma Genesis. It's a normal trap, and you can only activate one of these per turn. Its effect is that you can target one Banish, Fusion, Synchro, Exceed, or Link monster, and one effect monster your opponent controls that is the same card type, return the Banish monster to the extra deck, and if you do, negate the effect of the opponent's monster. Well, Drachma's playstyle is about banishing your extra deck monsters, and this is literally an anti-extra deck archetype, so getting this condition off shouldn't be that hard. But if it was a quick play spell, it would have been much better. And finally, the Nullius Filius card. Spline the Steel Express Dragon. Level 8 Dark Machine Fusion monster with 25 attack, 2000 defense. Requires Nullius Filius or Fallen of Abyss with one effect monster that was special summoned during this turn. And its effect is, during your main phase, you can move this card to another main monster zone on the field. Then you can destroy all other face-up cards in this card's current column. Non-targeting removal. So the idea is that you want to move it to somewhere that you want to nuke the whole column with, and just nuke the whole column just by moving this card over there. Not too bad, and it doesn't target. Second effect, during the end phase, if this card's in your graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can take one Sprigguns monster or Nullius Filius or Fallen Abyss from your deck, add it to your hand, or special summon it. And each effect of this card's name can only be used once per turn. I really don't like the idea of putting Fallen of Abyss or Nullius Filius in every single archetype because of lore, but for this one I think the engine will actually work pretty well. Still want a better fusion card though. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. What do you guys think about Sprigguns? I see decent potential for this archetype with the attaching materials effect and cheating out your Exceed monster. The only thing I really would hope for is more Exceed monsters, mainly a rank 4 and another rank 8. But that's just me, and I'm gonna say have a nice day.